Well, I grew up in Montreal, and Montreal is like football here. Like hockey is the #1 sport. And I grew up in a hockey family. My dad played hockey, but his main sport was football. It's funny enough, he went to the Alouette CFL training camp in his college years. But hockey's always been a passion of his, and he just put skates on my feet at a young age, and started skating. Didn't like it at first, but I stuck to it and kept playing. I wasn't a special player when I was young. I was just a hardworking guy. Coaches loved because I was willing to do a little thing. Even at a young age, I was working. I didn't play triple A right away. Played A, double B, double A, and went into triple A's later in my young career. But it was hard work, and it paid off for me.
You played 16 NHL seasons. You were a 7th-round draft pick. What do you remember from training camps when you were a player?
Well, I remember that my dad told me you need to get noticed out there. And doesn't matter what you do, get noticed. And I did. I crushed clean hit. You argue right now that even today that it was a cheap shot. It's Nelson Emerson. I played with him in LA later in my career, but I started in St. Louis, and he turned right into me and I crushed him. And it was a big hit, and they start talking about me in camp. He's a physical player, and again, that's why I tell the kids here, you have to get noticed. Maybe from a big hit or a big goal, a nice play, and you need to find a way to get noticed. And in 1992, that's what I did in St. Louis.
Philly fans, of course, remember you for a lot of things, but taking the puck to the face more than one time. Are you able to watch that video, or is it kind of too painful to look back on?
I've watched it. Trust me, people show it to me. I've watched it, and it is what it is. That's the way I played, and I got no regret. I'd do it again. It was that second one was in the playoffs, and I was 36 at the time, and I was that kind of guy who wanted to do everything for his team to win. And we were up 3-0, and I guess I didn't trust Brian Boucher in net. I didn't trust him that he was going to make a save, and I put my face in the lane. And I'm just thankful I didn't lose my eye. I do have a vision problem with my right eye, but I still have a pretty good vision, which I'm very thankful for.
Because of that injury, you transitioned into player development.
Yep.
and eventually coaching. Was that always in the plan for you? Did you intend to be a coach someday?
Yes, that's towards the end of your career, you're looking at your option. You can't play forever. And when this happened, I came back in the playoffs. I played against Boston. No, sorry, I didn't play against Boston. I played against Montreal and played in the finals against Chicago. Went back home, trained like a regular summer. I still had concussion syndromes, symptoms. I still had headaches, but I've had that before. I always were able to shake those off during the summer. But that time I couldn't. So I came back, and I met with Paul Holmgren in Minnesota before a preseason game, and I told him I'm done. There's no way I can play like that. I'm going to get hurt. And Paul Holmgren, right on the spot, told me, take 2 weeks off, come and see me, and we'll figure out what you want to do in the game. Because I told him before I'd like to stay in the game, and he's like, I'll help you out. And you always need somebody to help you out in the game or any line of work, and Paul Holmgren's my guy. He's a man of his word, and I can't thank him enough. And when I got this job, I thank him. We were golfing together, and I'm like, without you, there's no way I would be able to get that job, and I just want to thank you. And again, he's a great man.
You're heading into year 13 in this organization, 8 years as an assistant coach. You've worked with a couple GMs, a couple head coaches. How beneficial will that be for you heading into your first season as a head coach? I
think it's great. I was able to learn from a lot of good people, like from Craig Berube, Dave Axtell, Alain Vigneault, and I'm that kind. I was like that as a player. I looked around the Joe Sakic of the world. I wasn't even near who he was, but I learned from what he was doing to prepare himself. From the Luc Robitaille, same thing, not the same player, but I took what I could use, as a player, and I did that as an assistant coach. I'm not Alain Vigneault, I'm not Craig Berube, I'm not Dave Axtell, I'm Ian Laperriere, but I took little things from all those guys, and I'm going to try to make it my own.